Hey there everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Meadowbrook Kids. Today we have a fantastic lesson. I'm so excited to share it with you guys today. All right, today we are going to be learning about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and what happened to them when they didn't worship the golden statue. Okay, but before we do that, I want to go over our ponder point and what we're going to learn in our lesson today. And our ponder point is this: God rescues. All right, it's a really easy one this week. Can you guys say it with me one more time? Here we go. God rescues. Actually, I want to do it one more time, but this time I want us to use our Batman voices. All right, here we go. Stay with me. God rescues. Those are great Batman voices, all right? You guys did an awesome job. Well, let's go over our memory verse before we jump into our game, all right? Our memory verse is, you know it, right? It's Luke 4:8, and you should have it memorized by now. If not, make sure you work on it this week, all right? Say it with me. Jesus answered, "It is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only." Luke 4:8. All right, we have learned two awesome stories the last 2 weeks, right? We learned about Elisha 2 weeks ago. We learned about King Josiah last week. And this week we're learning about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right, it's gonna be a great thing. But we're gonna jump into our game. And this week's game is called Rhyme It Out. Let's see how well you can match up the rhyming words.
The Bible is full of mystery, simple and complex, natural and supernatural. Questions like, how did the Red Sea part? How did the walls of Jericho fall? And why are the pieces of paper that make up the Bible so thin? I've been fascinated with these questions since childhood, so I decided to become a BI, a Bible investigator. My first big break came when I stumbled onto the BLURF, the Biblical Latitude Ultimate Resonance Fluctuator. It's a time machine disguised as a cardboard box that helps me travel through time. And that way, I can solve mysteries right as they start. Now, this particular mystery blazed right in when I was just enjoying a nice, quiet lunch. And then, I figured out that with the velocity modifications that I made, was creating some sort of temperature vortex. It was just unsustainable, so I created a heat shield.
Oh, a heat shield, that's nice.
So, And then, when I was thinking of heat shield, I said, heat, desert. How many times do I go in the desert and there's no place to hide? So with some technical figuring, I made a cloak of invisibility. I can hide the blurf anywhere I want, or hide inside of it, and no one will know.
Wow, cloak of invisibility, huh? Hey, I like the upgrade, but cardboard again. I mean, that is so last season.
Well, that's why I added a cloaking device. I can make it look like trees, sand, camels. Right now it looks like a car. Blurf 3.0.
That is nice.
So when I was messing around with the heat shield and the invisibility cloak, I realized something, that for a moment, that there was a little temporal configuration in the space-time continuum that I saw it for just a moment, but I could have sworn that there was a time portal between biblical times and now.
A time portal? Bixby, if there was a time portal between biblical times and us, and wouldn't people from the Bible randomly drop in wearing biblical clothes? I mean, come on, have you ever seen that happen? I don't think so.
Oh, it just happened. Oh my goodness. Are you okay? Hello.
Now, surely I must be going insane. This is the second strangest thing I've seen all day. What is this place?
Why don't you come on, sit down a minute and sit. Yeah, and just rest a minute. And my name is Sally, and this is Theodore Bixby, and I assure you we are very nice people. So why don't you go ahead and just tell us your name, where you're from, and what year is it for you?
Well, I am Athazar, servant of the great King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. It is the second year of His Majesty's reign. Now, I was in the middle of worshiping at the foot of the golden statue when suddenly everyone started shouting. Then I'd witnessed the most extraordinary thing take place in a furnace that I cannot make any sense of. So I was so amazed that I wandered the streets of Babylon in a daze trying to figure it out. Next thing you know, I fell into a pit and I saw you.
Oh my. It is just as I thought. You said the second year of King Nebuchadnezzar's reign, right?
Yes. Well, let's see. Daniel 3.
Okay. Athazar, I believe you have literally walked into the future.
The future?
Yes, someone must have been irresponsible with time travel. I don't know who, I couldn't tell you. But I believe that you've walked from a time portal from Babylon to here. Luckily, you've landed in the one place that can actually help save you and bring you back to your time.
Well, this has been a strange day indeed. First, the mysterious phenomenon I witnessed in the furnace, and then now I'm in the future. But you seem like a wise man, Theodore Bixby. Are you a wise man?
I'm what you call a Bible investigator. I help solve mysteries from your time.
Well, then I humbly request your assistance in delivering me back to Babylon and helping me solve the mystery of what I saw earlier in the furnace.
A mystery, please, 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 Bixby, can we go? You can try all that fancy new stuff on the blur.
All right, into the blurf.
What is this contraption? It appears to be nothing more than papyrus upon the metals of Nineveh.
Well, it's a highly advanced technical... You don't know what technical means. It's a vehicle that... No, you don't know what vehicle means. Just get in. It works.
Well, that was indeed the third strangest thing I've experienced all day. Anyway, here we are. Behold, the great city of Babylon.
All right, Athelsar, I've taken you to the beginning of your day so we can witness the events as you've described them, help you solve the mystery. Now, we're gonna stay in the blurf just in case.
So this is Babylon. Wow, they weren't kidding. It really is modern for its time. Oh, hey, aren't we a little conspicuous?
Oh yes, well let me change the cloaking to chariot.
Ah,
Go.
that's better. 4 horsepower is what I'm used to.
All right, so is there anything that I need to know about Babylon?
Just this. In the big God story, God delivered his people, the Israelites, from Egypt into the promised land of Israel. Now, they lived there for many years, but they started to forget about what God had done for them, and they started worshiping other gods. God tried to warn them through prophets, but they kept on disobeying. So God had had enough, so he sent the Babylonians.
Miriam! Hello! Hello. Your goat's looking great. Yes, how is your husband?
Lovely afternoon, isn't it?
His curls are looking good.
Nice.
Very nice.
But God had had enough, so he sent the Babylonians into Israel to punish them and the Israelites into Babylon as exile. Daniel 3, which is where I believe we are right now, puts us right there.
Ah, yes, the Israelites. Our great King Nebuchadnezzar has adopted a program in which we train the best and brightest men of each nation we conquer so that we can send them back to their homeland to rule their people for us. In fact, 3 of those men are directly tied to the mystery that I spoke of. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Ah! Here we are. This is where it all started.
Whoa.
That is tall.
It's so shiny.
Behold, the golden statue. He made this glorious image made of gold so that the rest of us would worship it.
And you don't mind just worshiping this statue thing?
Mind, I have no choice. His Majesty King Nebuchadnezzar has decreed that everyone should worship it when they hear his fanfare. In fact, the fanfare should start soon. You will get a chance to worship it yourselves.
Oh, damn, I am not worshiping that thing. What do we do? Oh, did you say that there was an invisibility cloak or button?
So now you're interested in my cloak of invisibility.
Oh gosh, I'm just turning it on before the fanfare starts.
Okay, just don't backseat blurf. Let me just get it here.
Are you certain that no one can see us?
Fairly certain.
Okay, everyone is worshiping. There's King Nebuchadnezzar over there. Listen to what happens.
Nebuchadnezzar, 3 of your esteemed Israelites, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they're refusing to bow down to your statue.
What?
When the fanfare plays, they just ignore it and do whatever they were doing.
How dare they?
Sorry.
I have issued an edict. Oh, we'll get them to bow to the statue. Bring them here to me now. You men, is it true that you will not bow down to this statue? But we'll see about that. When the music plays, either you will bow down and worship the statue, or I will throw you into a blazing, hot, fiery furnace! Then, who will rescue you?
King Nebuchadnezzar, we don't need to defend ourselves to you. If you throw us into the furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship this image of gold you have built.
Outrage! How dared you? Turn up the furnace! Make it 7 times hotter than usual. Throw them into the furnace!
King Nebuchadnezzar is very serious about his statue. That furnace over there is very dangerous. It is so hot that when someone approaches the heat, from a distance it will kill them. It's usually used for melting metals and making bricks. When he threatens someone, they usually do what the king says. I can't believe that the men of Israel would fear their God more than the great King Nebuchadnezzar. I've never seen anyone say no to his majesty.
And they're heating it up to 7 times the normal heat. Oh, goodness. Bixby, didn't you say that there's a heat shield on this thing? Can you please turn it on?
Yes,
Indeed.
Sally, you remembered. You were listening. I'll turn it on just for you.
my goodness. It is hotter than bacon on Sunday in here.
Look, here is where the strange events begin.
They're turning the heat up. If I remember correctly, this is when the two men who were charged of throwing them in die from being so close to the flame.
So here are the three Israelites, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Look, their hands are tied and they're fully clothed. There's no way they can survive being in the furnace. And yes, let me check. 1, 2, 3. Yes, there's only 3 of them.
They're throwing them in.
Oh, I can't watch this. They don't deserve it.
But you see, they shouldn't even be alive, but there they are walking around in the furnace.
What hell on earth?
Not only are they walking around, but there are 4 men in there. Didn't we just count 3 men getting in? But now there are 4.
I think King Nebuchadnezzar can see it too. Can you hear him shouting?
Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out of the furnace. Your God sent an angel to you in the fire. Your God rescues his servants. He must be the most powerful God. You were willing to defy the king and die, rather than serve anyone but your God. From now on, if anyone has anything to say against your God, they will face punishment from me, because your God is mighty to save his servants.
How do you explain this? How do only 3 men enter a fire, 4 men walk around without even being burned, and then 3 men leave without even smelling like smoke?
Well, Athazar, I think even King Nebuchadnezzar solved this mystery. You see, the God that these men serve saved his servants from the furnace. He is more powerful than any king, any fire, any punishment that they can be threatened with. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew that obeying their God was the right thing to do, even if it meant disobeying their earthly king to do so.
That is much better.
Indeed. So, if I were to worship your God, does that mean that if any time I find myself in a dangerous situation, you would rescue me?
You know, I don't think that's what it means.
You're absolutely right, Sally. God may not always take away the bad things in your life, but he certainly comforts those who choose to serve him.
So the mystery is solved. Everything I saw can be explained by knowing that the God of Israel rescued his servants from out of the furnace. Suddenly, King Nebuchadnezzar doesn't look so worthy of being worshipped. This God is more powerful and is mighty to save his servants.
Pretty amazing, huh?
Well, now that that mystery is solved, on to the next. How did I get in the future? Now, I was just walking through that archway.
Oh, look at
and
the
I-
sundial. It is getting dark.
We have that,
We have a
prior
dinner party to go
party.
to.
I
of course.
understand. I understand. Thank you for rescuing me from the future. I wish you all the best serving your great God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Hear, hear.
Wow, that adventure was amazing. I gotta hand it to you and the Blurf 3.0.
Thank you.
Nice work.
How do I, get out of here?
Just take a step out.
Goodbye now.
As fast as you can, that'd be great.